It means every groove, every line in this room has a purpose. It's not a mistake, right? So one of the things that I like to show is when I get up and I start walking, you'll see that the sound follows me, right? That's what we call conversational stereo, or what is the word for that?
No problem.
Our definition?
Cool.
No, it's conversational stereo, and anyway.
You're the engineer.
Yeah. So this is so what it does is the sound follows me, right? And when you are, like, for example, in a meeting, and you're looking at your laptop taking notes or whatever you're doing on your laptop, you look up. You don't have to find where I am. You look up and you know exactly where I'm standing and where the sound is coming from. Because that's one of the technologies that nobody has in the market. I can stand right here and address multiple meetings at one time. So I can talk to the people here, I can talk to you guys there, right? Nobody does that. This system, one of the good things with the system is, if you go to a conference room, like a regular conference room, the technology and the engine that's running that system is the same technology and engine that's running this system. It's an HDX, it's 4 HDX systems that's running the system, right? So when you're looking at features like H264, high profile, open standards, all of those features come in this package, right? So nothing is different, right? One other thing is, everything that you see in this room comes in one part number. So the acoustic panelings, the lights, the mics, the chairs, the furnitures, everything comes as one part number. When you're looking at between our competitors and us, room remediation cost is a big cost, right? So when you're going with Cisco or any of those other competitors you're looking at, you're talking about $150,000 in room remediation cost. Ours is zero, because it's a room within the room, right? We just ask for a shelf.
We actually moved, well, we didn't physically move. We used to have one of these downstairs.
Right.
We moved up here, made it bigger, but like Rennie just said, it's a room in a room. This one here, now in Dallas, I think you guys actually have the cloud floating like it's supposed to. For some reason they attach above us, we call that the cloud. Usually what happens is it just sits on the front and back walls. So there's nothing attached to the room. It's the front and back wall, this stadium seating, and the cloud above us there. And that's why the light kit's included, so we're not doing anything else. We put this room
So they
in a room.
literally hand you, like, okay, these are the specs we need in terms of space.
Right, so that's part of the
And
whole
power,
implementation
probably.
process, is the fact that making sure it fits correctly in the room where the heating and air conditioning ducts are, etc. Right? I just said, so you understand the expectation here. I mean, we sell a good number of these rooms, but it's not like someone goes and buys 20 of these, right? They're going to buy 3, 4 of these, and they're going to buy 20 of those. And typically where we have these implementations is the international sites. Because what happens, I mean, you look what's happening right now. What chances are, do you think, in a 5-hour meeting someone's going to stand up in the room? Good, right? You're going to see in the other versions of Immersive telepresence, including our other room, and Cisco's implementation in life size, you get cut off. They're flat panel displays. So you can't stand up in the room. You can't get additional people in because there's bezels there, because it's flat panels. So again, this experience is unique. There's some big name customers that have that. We actually display Cisco at Regis with this room, which is where they announced telepresence at, which is highly ironic. So Motorola is a big customer of this room. We have some universities that actually have these deployed for distance learning. It actually comes in another iteration that's even bigger than this one. It has 28 seats. And it comes as little as 4 seats and 2 screens. So there's a number of things you can do.
Yeah, so Ms. Like Richard said, actually there was a company who just bought 15 of these for their training facilities globally. So that just happened like this year, in 2011.
I need to hear that. Okay, good.
Yeah. And so there are a lot of people buying this, and the reason is, it's a wonderful product. It's like he said, all the things that he's talked about, right? You can stand up and walk, and it's you can sit in this room for the whole day, and you're not stressed out, or you're not having that light issues or anything like that, right? One of the things that I was talking about was about the space, about the conversational stereo and its spatiality. That's the word I was looking for. This one, a lot of the times when customers come into this room, I get two questions. What is the price of one of these systems, and how much bandwidth does it require to run one of these systems? Now, right now, I'm looking at a high definition video, right? And when you're looking at our competitors, you're talking about 20 to 25 megs for a call like this. And we do it because of our H.264 high profile. We can do it for 7.5 megs with overhead. That's a big difference. So when you look at Polycom, we want to make sure that every conversation, every conference call, every meeting is on video. And in order to do that, we need to make sure that it can give you the best quality at the lower bandwidth cost. So it comes in different prices. I mean, so like Richard was talking about, it comes in different shapes and sizes, starting from a 2-screen, 4 chairs, 8 chairs, all the way to 4 screens, 28 chairs. The one that you're sitting in is a 418 model, which is a 4-screen and 18 chairs. The price range goes from $170,000 all the way to $700,000 list price, right? If you have a good account manager, of course, they'll give you a good price, right? But that's the cost. And now, when you're looking at using one of the systems, open standards, means it doesn't have to be that you can dial into another system just like that. Means I can be on a laptop and dial into the system. You can have 64 endpoints connected into the system at one time, right? You're talking about, I can be on a mobile device, I can be on an iPad and dial into the system. So it's open standards, and the usability is, and ROI is fantastic.
Can the competition do that though? In these immersive rooms, they can't add other devices, right? It's from room to room to room that's on that solution, right? Or can they add?
They can add other rooms. Means you're talking about other rooms dialing into
like someone on their laptop, they can add more
I can.
rooms.
No,
talking about
for Cisco TelePresence.
So
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
So Cisco TelePresence, can they have desktop users joining rooms like this?
In this situation, this immersive room, can they have other people come in? I thought it was
They can.
the room. Can they?
They can. But the thing is, for them to make that call, like say for example, for a Cisco system CTS, is if a laptop or link client wants to dial into their system, they can do that. That's their argument. They're going to say they're going to do that. But there's a cost involved in that, right? For us, we're talking about native integration, right? So because all of our systems, going back to the first comment I said was, this engine and the system that's running our room systems is the same thing that's running this one. So when you're talking about open standards, we have TIP, which is Cisco's protocol, running on our software stack. We have RTV, which is a Microsoft protocol that's running on our software stack. We have H.264 high profile. H.264 is an industry standard, right? And then you have all those protocols that industry uses. All of those are in our software stack. That's the one that allows us to have the native integration, right? Now Cisco and Lifesize and all those other companies, they do it, but there's a cost. There's a gateway involved. There's some middleware in there that does the coding and decoding, right?
And it's even more confusing than that. It's a hard answer because of some things I was mentioning in the other room. Cisco actually has 27 different endpoints, and they have 2 different solutions. The legacy Cisco one, which the answer to your question is, if I'm on a Cisco CTS, can I bring in any desktop? The reality is the answer is really no, unless I have a gateway.
Right.
Because that Cisco CTS is running a proprietary code called TIP.
Right.
The only other endpoints out there that do TIP besides Cisco are Polycom HDX units, which are what we had in there, and what is the engine that's running these 4 screens. The secret sauce here is knitting these 4 screens together. What's in that cabinet over there are 4 HDX systems, one for each screen. And then there's 4 lipstick 1080p, which is a Blu-ray resolution cameras inside of that box. The microphones are the same ceiling microphone we had in the other room. Right? It's all knitting, so it's all the complete standards, open story that I told you is really resonating with customers, we can do. So again, Cisco can do it with a gateway. The legacy Timbre product, because they had a 3-screen unit, can do it too. but they need to have an advanced code on their multi-point box.
Okay, so if it were Cisco and you're talking about that gateway, does that mean that every site home user or single site user would have to have a gateway at that physical
They'd have to
site?
go through that gateway. They'd have to farm all those calls through the gateway.
But okay,
and that's why you have the issue with the WAN bandwidth, and that's why that's the bottleneck, and it's also the scalability issue. Their gateway only supports 10 calls at a time. Okay, so you have to keep on adding all these boxes. You know how much the gateway is, unfortunately? It's now $110,000.
That's what I was wondering. I want to know that cost.
It's crazy. It's a bad story.
Okay.
You know, they're going to fix it. It's going to take them a while to fix it because I don't know, Rennie, have you heard any roadmap information? They got something different than what they had?
And then when we're talking about advanced media gateway, right, means that's just the coding and decoding part of it. When you're looking at the whole implementation, for Cisco, you need to have another call manager to run the system, right? Which nobody knows that. When they start implementing, that cost increases. You have to have another call manager to run this whole system than the voice call manager. That's two different networks, right? So those are the, and also when we're looking at we interop with the Vias, the Siemens, the Ciscos, all those other vendors in the market. So when you're looking at this,
we'll take it and take what you just mentioned even a step further. You guys are familiar with call admission control, right? So what will happen in the environment that Rennie just noted about the fact that I have the call manager there. So if I have Link clients, which, again, desktop, a lot of people are running some version of OCS and Link, they kind of start to light up the licenses to do the desktop video. What happens is the Cisco call manager and the Link, they won't talk together. So if someone over here is going to start initiating 10 calls, well, what happens when someone over here does the 11th call? There's no control. There's nothing to stop them from launching the 11th call. So you have management issues, and you're going to start having what? You're going to start having bandwidth issues. People are going to start launching more and more calls, and there's no ability to level off if someone's making calls off of the Link, off of the call manager.
which is good for them. They sell more routers and switches, right?
Well, that's the point of them, their whole video play.
Well, yeah,
absolutely.
That's why John Chambers is running around and is trying to drive toward that. So actually, one other thing before we kind of move, I know we're getting a little short on time here, but how many people have seen the multi-screen room like this? Well, most people. Well, what's your impression of the audio and video?
I think it's great.
Good.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's great. I love the interior as well. It's nicely designed with the power outlets, and you may take one of these chairs home.
Yeah, like
that is nice.
Everything has a purpose.
Yeah,
these are here to kind of keep you. You see, you get a little bit of line there, but these are kind of here to keep you there. You get the power in here. You get Ethernet. If we started sharing content, what happens is every two people have a monitor. And these things, you can just pop these up to show you how the other one works. But if we're not using this room for a conference, we'd love customers to use it 24 hours a day, but we know it's not going to happen. What would happen is we can use this as a standalone conference room. You have the space between the screen and the table. I pop up those monitors and I'm sharing. We could put whiteboards in here. On our side here, and Rennie I think also has one. We have a document camera there. We can show a large screen, large drawings. CADs, maybe an object like a circuit board or something that needs to pass to the other side.
When I was here, there was a penny on the table, and they zoomed in enough that you could see every detail of the penny. And the whole point is, if you have a manufacturing plant in India and you need to look at a product, you can put it right there, and they can see every little detail.
I want to pop up that monitor, and I'll show you. I think something you've probably never even seen on a $20 bill here.
Yeah, the old picture tell you like a document camera or something.
Yeah, so it's more like, we like to call these an object camera, right? Because nowadays we have the ability to share content through the laptop so much easier.
Oh, that's cool.
But you can see the fact that there's shades in the windows. I'm not sure if they got those at Home Depot or not. But,
what are we looking at here?
You can see the details. So again, basically we usually would have this application of this type of camera is in manufacturing, that they're throwing down a circuit board or product. It's actually a famous story that goes back to, when I was working almost 15 years ago, that Procter & Gamble, P&G's big user, they had shown, hey, here's the new box. And they caught the big mistake was like different colors. It should have been other colors. So that's just an example. Because so many things happen internationally now. And we don't want to say we're going to replace every trip, but you can meet more frequently, more often, right? So go ahead and that's an example of what the business benefits are. But, so nice. Again, you can use the same type of device with the HDX, right? It's just the fact that in this room we get a little bit different experience. We can actually put, if the customer wanted to, whiteboards up into those cubbies that are up over in there. If they wanted, we could put things off to the side, but in general we think this is the best way for people to see content right in front of them. I could put a 60-inch monitor there, but if it's 8-point font, I'm still not going to be able to read it. And that's kind of what Cisco does, right? They stick a monitor down there, over there, but again, I'm not going to be able to see this detail if it's over there.
It's good.
I'll make sure I pick up my $20 bill. I know people in the office.
Not just people in the office. All of us.
Do you have a few minutes still, please, Rennie, to do a call to the OTX?
Will do.
Just take a second. We'll see you over there.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, man.